Hello everyone. Here operating system module 2 continuation part. Till now we seen overview, multi-thread models, basic concept, scheduling criteria, scheduling algorithms. In this class we are going to see multiple processor scheduling, thread scheduling. Multiple processor scheduling. Name itself tells that more than one processor are there. Processor means CPU. More than one CPU is available for execution purpose. One process or one processor it will execute some of the processes. More than one processor or CPU we are using means lot of process we can execute by using that CPUs. CPU scheduling more complex when multiple CPU are available. If one CPU is there, then it is easy to allocate that process or job into the CPU. But more than one CPU is there, it is very difficult or complex job to handle that situation. So we have two types of multiprocessing. Multiple process scheduling means more than one CPU we are using for scheduling purpose. In that we have two types. One is asymmetric multiprocessing, another one is symmetric multiprocessing. Asymmetric multiprocessing means only one processor access the system data structure need for data sharing. That symmetric multiprocessing, another name SMP short form. Each processor is self-scheduling. All process in common ready queue, or each has its own private queue of ready process. I will explain that in detail. Asymmetric multiprocessing, you can consider example as master slave system. There we have one master CPU and many slave CPU. That master CPU having complete control over the slave CPUs. Whatever guidance given by the master should follow by the slaves. Master will give some work to slave job is to complete or do that work. So that concept is asymmetric multiprocessing. There one out of many CPUs, one of the CPU is considered as master, remaining all CPUs are considered as slaves. So master will give or master will schedule that processes, or master will schedule the process or job to the CPUs. Then whatever allocated process to that particular CPU, that should complete. So asymmetric multiprocessing, master slave concept. Another one, symmetric multiprocessing. Here each process is self scheduling. All process in common ready queue, or each has its own private queue of ready process. In the symmetric multiprocessing, all CPUs, again multiple process we have, many CPUs we have, all CPUs have their own job, their own queue. Here no one going to give work to particular CPU. Each CPU are owners. They can take process and they can execute. Here master slave concept is not there. Here all are masters. All can take process and execute and can complete. That is not possible in asymmetric multiprocessing. These are the two types of multiple process scheduling: asymmetric multiprocessing and symmetric multiprocessing. Another concept we have in the multiple process, that is processor affinity. Because of high cost of invalidating and repopulating cache, most SMP systems try to avoid migration of the processes from one processor to another, and instead attempt to keep a process running on the same processor. This is known as processor affinity. Another meaning for processor affinity is a process has an affinity for the processor on which it is currently running. So we have a lot of processors and we have many CPUs also. Process definition is that we already seen program under execution is called process. When your job comes to your CPU, then that is called process. Here processor affinity means whichever process currently running in that particular CPU having some bond between CPU and process. That process having some bonding with CPU. By that process don't want to shift from one CPU to another CPU. That process wants to complete its execution in that same processor or CPU. That is called processor affinity. So we have two types of processor affinity: soft affinity and hard affinity. Soft affinity means it is possible for the process to migrate between processor or CPU. Processor affinity means that process having some bonding with the processor. That process don't want to shift from that one or one CPU to another CPU. That process wants to complete its execution in only one CPU. So that is called processor affinity. In that we have two types. It is possible to process migrate between processor. That means soft affinity, it is possible to move one process from one CPU to another CPU. We can move process between CPUs. That is possible. But hard affinity means allowing a process to specify that it is not to migrate to other processor. Hard affinity means it is very difficult to shift that particular process which is currently running in that CPU to another CPU. It is very difficult to shift. That process wants to complete in that particular CPU itself. So very difficult to move to another CPU. That is hard affinity. Soft affinity, we can shift from one CPU to another CPU. That process we can shift from one CPU to another CPU. There is no much harm. That is called soft affinity. We have processor affinity in that two types: soft affinity and hard affinity. Another concept we have is load balancing. On SMP system, SMP, in the previous slides, here we see SMP means symmetric multiprocessing. That's why SMP system, on SMP symmetric multiprocessing system, it is important to keep the workload balanced among all processors to fully utilize the benefits of having more than one processor. Otherwise, one or more processor may sit idle while other processors have high workload along with list of process avoiding the CPU. If more than one CPUs are there and many processes are there, at that time the scheduling algorithm should be perfect. Each process is scheduled to each CPU. Another meaning is every CPU should get process or workload. If any CPU is not having any workload, means that CPU will sit idle. That means that CPU don't have any work. That will lead to some problems. So we have to balance the workload between all processors. You consider we have 4 processors, we have 10 jobs. So we have to allocate that 10 job to that 4 process or CPU. That how we are going to schedule that 10 process to that 4 CPU, that is very important. That is called load balancing. Balancing of load between that CPU is very important. Load balancing attempt to keep the workload evenly distributed across all processors in the SMP system. There are two general approach to load balancing. One is push migration, pull migration. So we have two approach here. What do you mean by push migration? So consider we have consider we have two CPUs. At that time, CPU 1 and CPU 2 we have CPU 1 having 10 process or jobs, CPU 2 don't have any job. That means CPU 2 is now idle. At that time, what is the meaning of push migration? CPU 1 having 10 jobs, CPU 2 don't have any job. So CPU 1 will push that workload to CPU 2. That is called push migration. Second is pull migration. CPU 1 having 10 jobs, CPU 2 no jobs, that is free. At that time, CPU 2 will take, that is pull. CPU 2 will pull the job from the CPU 1. That is the definition of push migration and pull. I will read out that definition. Push migration, a specific task periodically checks the load on the each processor, and if it finds an imbalance, evenly distributes the load by moving process from overloaded to idle or less busy processor. Just moving the job from overloaded processor or CPU to idle processor. Pull means when the idle processor pulls the waiting task from the busy processor. Pulling, taking the workload, and here giving the workload, that is push. Here taking the workload, that is pull. So by using these two methods, we can balance the load. That is called load balancing. We have another concept called thread scheduling. We have two types of thread, user level thread and kernel level thread, that we are already seen in the first module. We have two types of spaces in system. One is user space and kernel space. Thread present in user space is called user level thread. Thread present in kernel space is called kernel level thread. Here I will read out the sentence. On operating system that support user level and kernel level threads. Kernel level thread means what? That are being scheduled by the operating system. User level thread means managed by thread library, and the kernel is unaware of them. Kernel don't know anything about user level threads. The thread library will manage that user level threads. But in the case of kernel level thread, operating system will manage all thread present in kernel space. These two types in the thread scheduling. Another continuation of that thread scheduling part is contention scope. Here I will explain this with some example in the next slide. Here one distinction between user level and kernel level thread lies in how they are scheduled. On system implementing the many to one and many to many model. The many to one and many to many and one to many, these are the models, multi-thread models we have beginning of the module 2. Different types of multi-thread models. That models will map your user level thread to kernel level threads. The thread library schedules user level thread to run on an available LWP, lightweight process. LWP means lightweight process. A scheme is known as process contention scope. So we can tell this in one line. The scheduling process of user level thread to CPU is called process contention scope. And scheduling methods of kernel thread to CPU is called another, that is system contention scope, SCS. We have two methods, PCS and SCS. PCS means the scheduling of user level threads to CPU, that is called PCS, process contention scope. Scheduling of kernel level threads, kernel threads or kernel level threads to CPU, that method is called system contention scope. We will see one of the example here. Pthread. What you mean by pthread? Pthread is one of the thread that may present in user level or that may present in kernel level. If pthread is present in user level, that is called user level thread. If pthread is present in kernel level, then that is called kernel level thread. User level thread and kernel level thread that are connected each other or mapped by using some models, that is called multi-thread models. Many to many, many to one, one to many, that concept we have the beginning of module 2, that is mapping between user level thread and kernel level thread. User level part, we have one thing that is called thread library. That thread library will manage your all user level threads. But in the kernel level we have many threads, that all threads are managed by operating system only. Here they given pthread scope process. This is the one process. Okay, pthread scope process is a one process or job that is scheduled to CPU by using which one? PCS, process contention scope. Another one we have pthread scope system. That is another job. That job is scheduled to CPU by using another method called SCS. In the previous slide we seen this definition is very important definition, that is user level thread is scheduled to CPU by using one method. That method is called process contention scope, and kernel level thread is scheduled to CPU by using one method called system contention scope. That two methods we see in here. One is user level, one is kernel level. This pthread may present in user level. If pthread is present in user level, then that is this method. If pthread present in kernel level, that is we are using, in order to schedule, we are using SCS scheduling method. For pthread, if your pthread present in user level, one thread library is used to manage that thread. That thread library we seen in the beginning of this module, that is POSIX. POSIX is the thread library we are using to manage pthread. Here, the next class we are going to see about process synchronization. So, thank you.